Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you coming back. Hang out with your boy. This is your host with the most, A.K.A. also known as Nelson. And real quick, let me go and get this disclaimer out of the way just in case you're new to the channel. First and foremost, this video, ideally, I don't want to go too long unless necessary. So what I'm going to plan on doing is try to get the gist of where I'm going for the most part in terms of, trying to create a discussion with you guys. However, that might manifest roughly in the first 5 minutes if I possibly can. And then later on, as the video is going on, probably try to imply more details or expand on certain thoughts to give more context of how to probably digest this or start this conversation up. So with that being said, hold up, before we get started, if you haven't enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. If you dislike it, dislike it. Tell me in the comment section why you dislike it. Tell me in the section why you liked it. Tell me in the comment section what were your thoughts on the video. And again, if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you don't want to, cool. Let's enjoy each other's company. No rush. Now, all that being said, yes, a change of scenery real quick for the people who coming back. I was planning on going outside and, set my stuff up. But first of all, it's 7:52 in the evening right now. And personally, I feel too lazy to go do all that. But actually, I am interested in trying out a night video, so to speak, or I guess a night setup outside. I think that's one I definitely do want to try out sometime later. But for right now, we can have the next best thing. You're in my house. So, welcome to my house. Go and take you a seat, talk to you. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know. Like, I feel like sitting in the front of the camera like this, to me, is not bad. But it feels like it's only for a certain occasion I feel more appropriate to do this. But it's like if I sit like this, I don't know, it feels a little more comfortable to me. So it's not as if I'm addressing to y'all as if like I'm your fucking parent or something. Like I'm talking to you like, you want the homie, so to speak. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Oh, real quick. I know I'm probably getting close to 5 minutes, y'all, but give me a second, right? Just want to show y'all, let's stay hydrated. Okay? All right. Make sure you stay hydrated. I'll put this right here. All right. With all that being said, let me now get into the brunt of this video. And in fact, just so y'all know that this video, it came out of me kind of thinking about earlier about the one I had previously recorded and put up on YouTube. That if you haven't checked out, by all means, I might put it in the comment section, but literally you probably just go to my channel. It's just right under there. But whatever may be the case, however you want to get to it, essentially the purpose of me making that video, well, it made me think of something in regards to when I was checking my Twitter a few days ago, and I know someone had followed me, and I don't really have that many followers, and I haven't been active on Twitter for a minute, so I was kind of thrown off a little bit. I was like, okay, let me check them out real quick. And like I said, not safe for work content they have on their account. And I thought to myself, that's kind of weird that someone who posts this stuff would, follow me on Twitter, in regards to what I put on there, or I've recently put on there. But it made me pause for a minute and think to myself that, you know what, I should not be so discouraged in a way that someone, even if for a fact the individual who has that account, and that's literally them, it should not take away them still have the capacity to have these conversations, to engage in these topics, just because their perception or the way I may perceive them is that being promiscuous. It shouldn't hinder us from still having that conversation and still willing to sit down and talk. But anyhow, what made me want to start this particular video was another thought that came afterwards when I was uploading it. Because I thought to myself that, well, or excuse me, it made me reminisce about a particular interesting conversation I had with my mother a few weeks ago. And it came out of her telling me about, her and my sister and some of her friends helping out some of the people here in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi to be specific, trying to help everyone get their water. not turn on, but get, a bottle of water so at least, people can flush their toilets and whatnot. Because, unfortunately, even now, there are people in certain areas that are able to get their water back, which I'm thankful for. But unfortunately, there are still some places that they're not able to get their water back. Which I'm glad there's still people out there who are trying their best to assist those people any way they can. And I appreciate that. Anyhow, something interesting out of it, it made me say something to a mother along the lines of that, something that kills me a little bit inside with people these days. And I'm not saying this is just something random. This is something that just recently occurred in our lifetime. Like, this has been around for as long as we probably maybe even time immemorial. And you're probably wondering, okay, what is that? That is the concept that people, not everyone, but some people carry about in their lives is you want to be called any and everything else in the book, but except everything that you're doing, everything you're saying, and everything that you internalize. Essentially, to round this up a bit, is you want to be called everything else but a hoe. But you are doing whole acts. You're doing I say you're doing whole ass activities, but then somehow you don't want to be called that. And I understand where it comes from, though. I do. Like I said, this is the second part, essentially, to my previous video. Because I understand you don't want people to make it seem as if, oh, because you move in a certain way, you should be devoid of your humanity or treated like an object, which I do understand and I completely do agree. However, at the same time, and I think this is an important thing to be said, y'all. At the same time, this is just my personal thought process. I could be wrong on this by all means. And please take what I say with a grain of salt. First of all, take anyone with a grain of salt. Because like I said, surely you're not always going to be in the right, but surely you can't be always wrong. So always take that in mind. Anyhow, y'all, the thing is, this is why I want to use that particular analogy about the hoe. Again, sweetheart, like for my women, at the end of the day, this is your body, right? I don't have no control of your body, your daddy, your mama, none of us have any control of your body, right? And here's the thing. Let's say starting up as a baby. As a baby, of course, your autonomy is in its infancy. You can't do much for yourself. So the responsibilities for your care, for your body, is essentially to your parents or to your guardians. And the thing is, as time is progressing, you're getting older. Of course, you're going to reach an age where you can brush your teeth, wash your face, you can put your clothes on, you can pick your own clothing, right? You can go shopping, you can start holding a job, you can get your own sense of income, yada, yada, yada. You're racking up responsibilities as time is progressing in your life. So, with those responsibilities, you also have to acknowledge the willingness to accept the consequences of your actions as time is progressing, or that's the ideal measurement I think a lot of people insinuate, but we don't really I don't think it's something we really sit back and really say and really address to generation. It's just something maybe that's like that unspoken rule, so to speak, that we can acknowledge is present there, but at the same time, we just don't really speak on it and really make it vocalize. And so, this is my thing, is that, again, I do agree, we don't want to take away people's their humanity by any means, if possible. But at the same time, let's be truthful of what we are at the same time. Because I'd say like this, if you're being a hoe, or you're going through your hoe phase, the thing is this, I personally can acknowledge that, of course, right now, I can perceive you as you're the hoe. But, both men and women, let's not get that twisted. But, at the same time, especially my head, or specifically my eyebrow, but at the same time, I also have to take into consideration is that, obviously, just because you're in this state of being does not mean that's all you're going to be in your life. Like, again, going back to the baby, you're not going to be a baby all your life. You're not. Now, can you have a certain infant's mentality in certain cases? Like, say, for people who are mentally handicapped or have certain mental illnesses or disorders, can they be in certain I'm sorry, y'all. It's not. It's not like some. I'm sorry, y'all. I just heard some shit in the background. It's not like button mashing. Excuse me, y'all, on that. You can probably skip past that. I'm about to lose my train of thought. And like I said, I'm not gonna go too much into this. Oh, but if I go any further in this conversation, which most likely in the future I would, just let you guys know, if you want to know my thoughts or further more depths and you want to get at me, if you don't want to do it in the comment section, by all means, I'll put my Twitter down there just real quick while I was on my mind. But anyhow, to move on to the point being, what I was trying to get at is, yes, we can acknowledge that there are unique cases that people can be within. Like, say, for instance, if you're mentally handicapped, majority of people, even outside of, let's say, first world or second world countries, can comprehend that, okay, this particular individual cannot take care of themselves, right? Even if they're in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, 50s, regardless of the age, they're not going to be able to care for themselves. So they cannot withhold certain responsibilities within their lives. That's understandable, right? And thus, the state of mind that they possess is most likely never going to change. This is what it is for the rest of their days. So you have to act accordingly with that. You have to make peace with that. That makes sense. But let's say if you are able to change, you are the you are the right state of mind where you can change your mentalities, your beliefs, your principles, your ideologies, however maybe you take that, you have the capacity to change. So because you have the capacity to change, or it's possible for you to change, but the probability of you changing your ways, I think that's the underlying concern, or that's the underlying factor a lot of us don't, again, vocalize and really have discussion about. Because again, like for instance, let's say there's a girl out there that you really like. Let's say in high school, right? You really like her, but you hear rumors about, oh, she does this and that and the third. And you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I don't want someone who's been with everybody. And let's say the rumors have some truth, not all truth, but let's say it has some truth to them, right? Just blowing proportion. Now here's the thing. If you made the decision to say, oh, I'm never going to talk to her, I'm never going to this, that, third, just off of rumors, you don't have concrete evidence to suggest, to really back up any of these claims, even though, again, there might be a grain of truth in it. If you decide that you're not going to, talk to her, whatnot, and let's say later down in life, next time you see her, she has a great family, beautiful babies, great husband, doing well in her life and her passions, please do not be that motherfucker to get an attitude and say, oh, how can she have all her better life, this and that, third, but this is the way she acted back. So you act as if just because she moved like that to an extent, again, if you're going off of rumors, you're going to just make the assumption because if that's how she carried herself, that's all she's going to be in life. To me, y'all, that's not...